Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Live in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2.
Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Tim Black at Night Show. It's Freedom Friday. It's Freedom Friday, y'all. We are all free today. Free today. Free to be who we want to be. That's right. Make sure we're live everywhere. Where's everybody at? Okay, cool. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Periscope. And I'm live right here on the Tim Black Show. Yes. All right, guys. You guys ready for Freedom Friday? I hope you are. Let me give a big shout out to everybody on every platform. I don't care where you are. If you're getting this right now, you may be getting it on DirecTV. Like, you could get this, on DirecTV if you wanted it. You know what I mean? You could do that. I said you could do that. Oh, get the mic up, Tim Black. Sounds better when we can get that deep baritone voice activated. But then the mic gets in the way. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. We got a lot of crazy stuff to discuss. Freedom Friday is the night when you call into the show, and it's freedom because you get the freedom of speech. You get the freedom to talk about stuff. And, I'm going to talk about a few things to get the ball kind of rolling for Freedom Friday. The phone number, 319-527-6212. Brian, I got your email. Brian emailed me, said, Tim, what's the number to call up? It's 319-527-6212. And I answered his email. Now, I would like the people that call up on Freedom Friday are people who watch the show. And if you watch the show, you should know the number. But hey, that's beside the point. I'm sure you've been real busy playing video games while you call up to my show. I just want people to like to watch the show, Watch the show, share the show. You watch the show, share the show. Right now, right now, how about everybody take a few moments to share the show? Because this is going to be good. I just got a funny feeling it's going to be a good show tonight. So you want to share this show. I want to start off by saying I went to see Dave Chappelle. That's right. I saw Dave Chappelle because Mrs. Black took me to see Dave Chappelle. It was her birthday. And she said, for my birthday, I'm taking us to see Dave Chappelle. And it was a great show, guys, here in Washington, D.C. at the Warner Theater. Very nice theater. Very nice. But I felt bad. My wife took me on her birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's her birthday. I should be taking her to see Dave Chappelle. But those tickets were expensive, so yeah. A little pricey. Not the kind of prices a public servant who reports the truth can afford. Really. I'm serious, man. I can't afford to pay. And if I sold out, maybe I could pay then. But no, it was great. It was a great show, man. And I'll tell you guys this. The opening, who opened the show was none other than Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress, the killer of Bill Cosby. That bastard. He started all of it. Couldn't help but think about that as he was telling jokes how he destroyed Bill Cosby's legacy. It couldn't have been the drinks. Couldn't have been the stuff put in. No, it wasn't that. No, it was Hannibal Buress is the bad guy. But it was funny, though. Hannibal Buress is funny. And then, Donnell Rollins, a.k.a. Ashley Larry. Ashley Larry came in there. He was very funny. He was very funny. You know, I was talking to H.A. Goodman earlier today. I told him about the Dave Chappelle show I went to. And, I called it Dave Chappelle show. It was just, I guess that's okay. You know, it wasn't the Dave Chappelle show. I didn't go back in time to go see his Comedy Central show. H.A. was like, wow, you never saw that on, guess the blacks really are struggling. You didn't see that on, we thought it was free. Tricked the blacks into paying to see the Comedy Central show, Dave Chappelle show? No, H.A. Goodman, my Jewish friend. But no, he didn't know what I was talking about when I said Ashley Larry. I'm like, H.A., hell you been, man? It's like, damn, there really are two Americas. So Ashley Larry was hilarious, and then Dave Chappelle came out, and guys, he's so funny, man. It just reminds me of how corny I am. You see Dave Chappelle like deliver lines, and it's just amazing, guys. It just nothing. I just want let you know. I'm not going to sit up here and try to retell any of his jokes, any of that. Be like sacrilegious. Be blasphemy to retell a Dave Chappelle joke. You know? Don't do that. You know? Corny dudes by the water cooler trying to be Dave Chappelle. Don't do it, man. Just tell people where to go to get tickets. You stick to accounting. And I'll stick to stories. But check this out. Besides that, how you guys like that Tom Price guy quitting? How you guys like that? You like that guy quitting his job? I like that. Yeah, man, I never feel sorry for rich people losing work. I don't feel sorry when we lose work. Tom Price loved cutting programs. When a politician says they want to cut government spending, I don't know if you know this or not, but that means you. Oh, yeah, that means you. He don't mean military spending. No. On planes and bombs. Nah, he don't mean that. Nope. Republican too? Nah, he don't mean that. Even though like 60% of our budget is military spending, that's not what he mean. He mean that 5% that helps, veterans who are living on the street, that 5% that helps a mother feed their kids on bad times, that 5% that, that seniors might need to get meals. Nah, he wants to cut that. That's the pork barrel he wants to cut. You know what I'm saying? So hearing this hypocrite resign, that felt good, man. It felt good. I felt like, this is a good way to end my week. A swamp creature who had to, leave the swamp and go back to the swamps of Georgia and catch catfish with his feet. I don't know what he does in his pastime, but as long as he's not doing it in D.C., I'm good with that. Because guys like that, a hypocrite like that will cut your spending, will cut spending on programs to help regular Americans, anybody who needs help. That guy, he wasted $1 million flying around the country. It wasn't like he took private charter jets to go to Saudi Arabia to see them throw gays off buildings and try to stop it. No. It wasn't like he took private jets to try to, come to some type of agreement with Kim Jong-un or something. No. It wasn't like he fought for women's rights, in countries where they think, oh, women can drive now. Oh, great. Like he's there trying to get that done. No. He took private charter jets to go within the United States. He could have walked to some of the places he took private jets. And not only did he take private jets, y'all, he took military aircraft. Hey, look, when you take a military plane into, within the United States domestically, you know, that's the epitome of showing your ass. Come on, just give it up for that. That's what that is, man. That's showing off. That's showing off. That's what that is. That's so over the top that rich bastards, rich, greedy, corporatist bastards who are friends of his saw him landing in the private military fighter jet at the golf tournament and was like, gosh, Tom, I think you're overdoing it just a little bit. I mean, get Jesus. Yeah. This is too much. Yeah, don't you think? You could have took the hovercraft, or could have, you know, like even they're appalled. Oh my God, you know. So, and it's also funny. This is hilarious right here. I think it's going to be hilarious. In my head, this is funny. You know how they love to get on black folks and say, you know, you like spinning rims and all those Air Jordans? Like this guy, Tom Price, he used private jets to do regular stuff. You won't hear them make that kind of conversation or those types of remarks about rich old white guys who do shit like this. Oh, but no, we'll give Pookie, who somehow came up with $100 to get some shoes, we'll give him hell. Oh, you need something to eat. I see you got on some shoes. I see you got on some shoes, though. How'd you get those shoes? You know, like, but Tom Price can run up $1 million tab in less than a year, going places he could have took first-class jets. He could have, whatever. And he didn't get permission. So basically, he stole $1 million. And then he said, well, look, I apologize for stealing that $1 million on needless travel, unfettered travel. He's like, I'll give you back 50,000. Make it, just call it even. I'm gonna give y'all 50. So he's gone, and Trump accepted his resignation letter. And we all know, look, when you screw up as bad as Tom Price did, the resignation letter is just a way to save face. You're just saving Donald Trump for having to actually grab you by your collar in the back of your pants and throw your ass out of the office. You know, open the door with his forehead, bam! And look, and also, guys, by the way, he didn't just fly alone. He took his wife, his friends, people that used to work for him back in Georgia. Like he did a lot of garbage. So give it up for Tom Price. Another scumbag, one less scumbag in the White House. Now all we need is for Betsy DeVos, Jeff Beauregard Sessions, and Steve Mnuchin to join them, and then I think we'll be a good start. We'll be making a good start. Man, if you notice I'll be a little punchy tonight, it's because my rescue dogs, one of them is very sick and probably made the other sick, so I had to return my rescue dogs from Houston back to the sanctuary. And that has me pissed off, man. Like, don't give a person a dog to bring home. They gave me 2 dogs to foster care and didn't check them correctly for the parvo virus. So I'm bringing these dogs home and I fall in love with the dogs, and now it's like I had to take the dogs back. You know? And that's tough, man. That is tough. That is hard on a family. You know, it grabs the heart and just twists it. Somebody reaches in your chest. Because, you know, if you're a dog lover, animal lover, you can relate to what I'm saying. Like, why would you play with my emotions like that? That's the type of thing that makes a person go on a shooting spree. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. If I was an older white woman, I'd probably call in work for a week. That's what they do, you know, when the cats die. I'd be like, I ain't going to be here this week. Meanwhile, she at Vegas. Oh, yeah. But no, I really am pissed off about the dog thing, man. And what also pissed me off is that my kids don't even notice they're not here. You know, I'm like writing long posts like, this is going to be hard on the kids. They're like, Dad, you see my tablet? Like, don't you see the dogs on here? They just look around, just act like nothing happened. Meanwhile, me and my wife are like, gosh, like really feeling bad, sitting in the car having long talks. Gosh, I can't believe it. Like, you know, just kids are aloof, I guess. I don't know. Guess they thought we were just borrowing the dogs anyway. It's okay. But to me, it really hurt my feelings. So anybody out there who lost their animal, I know how you feel now. I share your pain. I experience it. Now I can say, I know what you feel like. I share your pain. There you go. I can say it. Next order of business. White people run for the hills. O.J. Simpson will be out in less than a week. Run. But according to this New York Daily News, the Attorney General opposes O.J. Simpson coming to Florida. He cites dangers. And to that I have to say, man, O.J. can't kill anybody else. He's too old. I mean, what's he going to do? Run over you is about all he. I mean, his knee's been bad for 40 years. He not a threat. You just saw Shawshank Redemption when they let the old dude out, and he was swinging from the beam a week later because he was like, cars, cars that you don't crank up. He just couldn't wrap his brain around how much life had advanced. And before he was locked up, he was like, a big-time criminal or whatever. But, things change over time. So I don't think O.J. will be stabbing anybody. You ain't got to worry about it. Florida. And look, and let's keep it real. Florida's got so many problems. You got, look, you just had a hurricane. And let's not forget, you're used to criminals. You're used to criminals in Florida. Case in point, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. If you can survive Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I'm sure you can deal with O.J. Simpson. That was a good one. That was a good one. Woo. For anybody who doesn't know, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a scumbag to the highest order. Tim Canova should defeat her and get rid of her, get her out of Congress once and for all. That'd be great. We would all enjoy that. Shout out to my friend Peter Hager. Peter Hager out there, my friend in Florida. Tim Canova, Elijah Manley, and Jeff Campbell, my friends in Florida. Oh, and also Miss Myers. Anyway, back to O.J. Simpson. So they don't want him to go back to Florida for his release. I think that was a part of his parole that he would stay in Florida. It may be famous for oranges, but Florida wants nothing to do with the juice. See, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Independent media is where it's at. Because they need to get Sean King back. He's still right for the New York Daily News? Who wrote this? Christopher Brennan. Chris. Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi wrote a letter to the Department of Corrections on Friday saying that she objects to O.J. Simpson hitting to her state after he gets out of prison. Simpson, 70, is now eligible for parole after serving 9 years for a 2007 Nevada for a robbery in Las Vegas. He could walk free as early as Sunday. Let's keep it real, America. O.J. Simpson didn't go to jail for stealing back his own property. That's not why he went to jail. O.J. Simpson went to jail because O.J. Simpson should have went to jail earlier, much earlier. It's what we call a do-over. Now I know it's illegal, double jeopardy and all, so it was a setup. Right? Look, O.J. Simpson, they wanted him in jail. They've been wanting him in jail. For so many people, they felt like O.J. was the one that got away. So they had to go get him. But see, this is the thing. Here's the thing. I don't feel bad for him because can't nobody set you up if you don't do nothing. I said, can't nobody set you up if you don't do nothing. Look, even like right now, we're looking at what's happening with Kevin Hart. And I know, just follow me. Kevin Hart right now had this woman trying to sue him, trying to blackmail him for $1 million because they had sex or something. But if Kevin Hart wasn't with her, then she wouldn't have film of him having sex. Meaning, even if somebody wants to set you up, unless you do the thing that they can set you up with, then they got nothing. Because a lot of people want a lot of things, but unless they had the ability to pull it off, don't matter what they want. So, O.J. Simpson, look, we're not going to relitigate the case in the comment section. I hope not. I'll say this. I never felt sorry for him going to jail for those memorabilia. I just felt like you're a dumbass. And I think that's the way most people feel. It's just that our justice system is so unjust that anybody that, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's there's a lot of injustice in our justice system, but O.J. Simpson is not the poster child for equality. One that got away. I'd rather some drug dealer just trying to make it in the streets of, I don't know, somewhere in Wisconsin or whatever. I'd rather he get off. He let him be the one that got away, not O.J. So that's how I feel about that. But I will cover it when he gets out. I think it's funny. How many of you guys still have Facebook accounts? Show of hands. Who's still on Facebook? There's a lot of people still on Facebook. I don't know why, man. I mean, I know why. You're on Facebook because you want to stay in touch with friends and family. And some people on Facebook because, they just, they're looking for love. They're looking for somebody to hook up with. And some people on Facebook to see if the person they used to be with hooked up with anybody else. Or, a lot of people use Facebook. I never log into my personal account. I'm always in my Tim Black account. So, like, on my wife's birthday, I didn't even go and like her status, which is horrible in a way. But it's like you got all these people on Facebook. You don't even. No, I don't. I don't go in. I try to stay out of trouble because it's like I'm getting attacked too much. I need to just, do my videos, mind my business, avoid drama, Especially now because what Facebook's been doing is they've been banning people and censoring people and tracking people. And I believe that Facebook is like the CIA at this point. I think we all can we all agree Facebook is basically the CIA at this point? A lot more going on Facebook than just recipes and pictures of babies. A lot of other stuff going on. In fact, we've heard about Facebook going after the Russians, saying the Russians hacked the election by helping Hillary or helping Trump by putting these ads or fake stories on Facebook. We all heard that, right? Well, here goes the new spin of that story. Feds are asking Facebook for info on anti-Trump activists. Yeah, they're doing that. Yeah. They're going after Antifa. That's what it says here. The Justice Department even wants info on the 6,000 people who liked the Disrupt J20 Facebook page. Search warrants. Yeah, I see you over there shaking. You shaking. You were on that J20 page, weren't you? They looking for you. I tell you, man, it's like, if this isn't fascism, what is? Everybody talks about Trump. No, it's these other cogs. Like, Trump's horrible. I give you the look. Trump does things. He just says stuff. He runs the presidency like I run the Tim Black show. I just say stuff. But I'm not elected. I don't have any power. I say something cool, people like it. I say something insightful, people like it, they maybe tweet it. That's not power. Trump is the most powerful man in the world. So when he says stuff, it's different. But now, okay, so now they want to find out, because I guess they're looking for violence. Okay, so the Justice Department in February issued 3 warrants to search the Facebook accounts of people associated with the violent protest of President Trump's inauguration. The warrants, which named Disrupt J20 activists and the anti-Trump organization's Facebook page, asked for information including the activists' friends, associates, and roughly 6,000 people who liked the page. This is according to lawnews.com. The ACLU, which has posted the warrants here, quickly went to work on behalf of the activists named in the warrants. It went to court Thursday to block the enforcement of the warrants, arguing that they are overboard under the Fourth Amendment, which protects personal privacy. Okay, give it up for that. Okay. Hey, guys, I'm not so sure that they're going to win this. No, I'm not so sure. ACLU, you know, I appreciate the effort. I do. I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to protect our privacy. I don't know if you noticed or not. We live in America. We don't have privacy. Privacy in America is like your first bike. It was cool when you had it. Now it's gone. Privacy in America is like that loving feeling you had with your ex. It was great times. Did a lot of fun things together, but it's over. Privacy in America, I can just keep naming privacy in America. You don't have it. The CIA can be watching me now while I'm watching y'all, while y'all watching me. You know, they could, you know, they're in your inbox. You got cookies and nuggets. Jolly Ranchers following you around the internet. Everything you do. If I look up slippers for my mom, for the next 3 weeks, slipper ads pop up. If I email a friend, you know, where I'm going to be in D.C. when I do some live footage, I keep getting restaurant suggestions for that block. I mean, you have no privacy. That's why the shit's free. Look, why do you think Gmail gave you all them free tools? Why did Google give you all these free tools with Gmail? Why? Because they like you. Because they like you. You so special. You so special. Let me give you a slideshow, place to put email, place to store files, place to make phone calls, place to write documents, place to do spreadsheets, place to do this. No. All of that, look, you just sold your life is what it is. I did too. I'm not, I don't mean just you. Me too. We somewhere along the line, we made a decision that we didn't value our privacy. And they just took advantage of it. And they're making out. So as much as it costs for them to have servers where they can put all your crap on it in the cloud, they're making like, 100 times that by selling your information to someone else. So they can track you around the internet, get you to buy them damn slippers that you didn't want to buy, so that they can see where you're going to be flying to and offer hotel suggestions. It's all a racket. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Everything got a catch. So like I said, I appreciate the ACLU going to bat, but they're not going to win this because you don't have any privacy in the United States. Now, what can you actually do to these people? So what, they like the page. What does that mean? What? Nothing. It means nothing. What, they're going to lock you up because you like the page? Sometimes I like pages just because I like the name. Like, sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, what's that mean? Nothing. Anyway, if you want to read more about this story about Facebook, go to cnet.com. All right, cnet.com is where you'll find this article. And it's just a witch hunt is what it is. You know, look, how about this, law enforcement peoples? How about when we have protests or when we have these events, how about you be there and actually do your damn job? How about that? How about at the time the stuff is going down, how about you do that? How about you actually, instead of sitting back and letting people get killed or get hit in the head with locks or get run over, how about you, most dangerous person, most dangerous job in the world, won't you live up to that and actually let law enforcement do their damn job when there is violence at these rallies? That's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. How about we do that? So then we don't have to, be investigative, private eyes and look up people's information to try to find out if this the person, that the person. And when did Sean King become the best private investigator on the internet? When did that happen? I'm trying to figure that out. Because every time I turn around, I'm getting like somebody, like Sean King is finding another Tiki clan member in real life and like outing them or, turning over their information. Sean King need to work for the CIA or something because he's doing a better job than the cops are doing. Cops sitting back drinking coffee and Sean's like, hey, here goes another one of these assault and battering skinhead type dudes. Here you go. They're like, oh, well, thanks. This is great. Thank you, Sean. Looks like my cousin. Let me make sure that wasn't my cousin. Oh, it was just like him. Oh, shit, it was my cousin. So, yeah, guys, I don't know. I just pick 3 stories, and I just say what's on my mind, and that's what I'm thinking. I don't know about you. That's what I'm thinking. One last thing. One of these cops, a fire chief called the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers a nigger or something, didn't she? Didn't he or she? I don't know who it was. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to do a separate video on this. The Pro Football Washington County Fire Chief drew criticism for posting a racial slur about Steelers coach Mike Tomlin to Facebook. Well, whoever this person is, they resigned. Mr. Smith, it's a guy. Mr. Smith did this. Mr. Smith is now Mr. No Job Smith. Okay. I guess that's who it is. The media dragged my fire company and township into this as well as my family, said Paul Smith, the former chief of the Muse Township Volunteer Fire Department in Cecil, in a statement to the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Yeah, he was upset because Coach Tomlin, he said that his team wasn't going to come out and salute the flag. Look, man, we've been beating this horse to death, but I got to keep beating it. If you don't want people to talk about race, we need to get rid of racists. I don't want to hear about race. Well, you need to get rid of racists. Help me do that. Well, I don't have time to do that. Well, then you shut up. That's how that works. Look, when people don't want, people get uncomfortable talking about it. But if we don't talk about it, then people, like I had a conversation with a good friend. Check this out. Before I go to phones, I'm about to go to phones. I had a conversation with a good friend. First, let me say this. I understand that a lot of people, they like some of these conservative talking heads. I get that. You like the different point of view. You like your Ben Shapiro. Okay? So I get that. And you think, it's a different point of view. I like my Milo. I like this. I like that. So I'm talking to this friend and he's saying, well, Tim, the blacks, there's income inequality because, Ben Shapiro says because black folks have babies out of wedlock. That's why there's so much income inequality. And black people didn't have babies out of wedlock, then they'll make about as much as white people. And I'm like, see, here's the thing. People leave out the part they don't want you to know. See, that's the whole thing. Look, wealth in America has nothing to do with how much money you make at a job, dumbass. It just doesn't. Tell Ben, wealth is not about salary on a job. Wealth is your parents owning some land, dumbass. That's wealth. That's what wealth is. That's wealth. It's not your job. That's income. That is income. All right? Different. Nothing is wealth. Look, wealth can't be taken away because somebody didn't like the shirt you wore that day. Understand what I'm saying? Wealth, you have to waste it. You can't waste your job. You see, wealth is something you can pass down. You can't pass down your salary, dummy. See, wealth is the problem. Wealth, that's why we need to change that income inequality. No, wealth inequality. But see, that's too real. That's too real. You see, because then we start getting into real historical problems, okay? Because there's no way that you can tell me that 14% of the population should own less than 2% of the country's wealth. That means that, and unless you believe that black people just don't want nothing and that we just lazy and we just all smoke crack or something, like, you got to believe that in order to make that make sense to you, that 14% of the population own less than 2% of the country's wealth. Okay? So get rid of that. And to my friends, before I go to phone calls, and to my friends who don't believe in the thing called white supremacy because it makes them feel bad, or to my black friends who don't believe in it because they think it's just about division, answer me this. How can you live in a country where all these people live and 92% of everything, all the wealth, is owned by one group? Now, if it wasn't color, say it was location. If 92% of New Yorkers owned everything in New York, everybody be fine. They say, look like the country's run by New Yorkers. And they want to stay in power. They want to run it all. You wouldn't have a disagreement with that. You just be like, all those New Yorkers are always trying to run shit. But since it's race, you all of a sudden logic don't make sense to you. It's like, it's just you don't want to accept it. So what I'm saying is, we don't have to feel bad about it. We don't have to attack each other about it. But damn it, man, some facts are facts, okay? Some facts are facts. Wealth ain't your job, and white supremacy ain't about this person living next to you. It's a system. It's not a person. See, that's the problem. People think racism is just people. It's not. I keep saying it. It's not a drunk white woman in front of Walmart using the N-word. Racism is healthy human services, cutting human services to a demographic that is over-proportionally black. That's systemic. Get it? That's, so I don't want to go no further. I just want to make sure people know I'm aware of this stuff, that I'm speaking about this stuff because it's important, and I'm tired of people not knowing what's going on. And I'm tired of getting these stupid emails from people trying to explain to me what Ben Shapiro said, trying to explain to me what Milo Yiannopoulos has said. And if I would just give him a chance, if you just give him a chance, I give him a chance when he starts telling the whole story. How about that? When you tell the whole story, when you talk about that, when you talk about the Great New Deal, what it was for and who it was for and who didn't get it. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's let that be something we add to that, Benny. And then we can have a conversation. All right, guys, welcome to the show, Freedom Friday. This is where you call up and you get whatever on your mind off your mind. I just gave you a prime example of somebody brain dumping a bunch of stuff. You can do that too. The phone number is 319-527-6212. Don't be bashful. Call up. The only thing that's not allowed on this show is hate speech. Hate speech and boredom. Try to get, how can I say this? Say what you got to say. Just get it out. Don't worry about sounding a certain type of way. We ain't here to critique people, but I'm just saying, just say it. Like, pretend it's just you and me talking. Forget that there's people listening, because I think that's what it is. People, they call up and then they feel self-conscious, You ain't got to be a radio disc jockey. Hey, how you doing? This is Aaron from Indianapolis. I'm calling to talk about this issue. Nobody expects you to sound like that. In fact, we hate people that sound like that. We want people to sound like regular people. Regular people just sound the way they sound. That's fine. I want regular, authentic people, so don't get nervous. Don't feel like, oh, I got to be an expert at this. You don't have to be an expert at anything. All you got to do is be yourself and say what's genuinely in your heart to say. How about that? That's what makes this show great. So never feel like you are under pressure. The only pressure we have is no hate speech and keeping the limit between 3 to 5 minutes. That is it. All right? Also, no selling. If you want to sell something, hit me up at tim@timberlighttv.com. and we can work out something where you can sell stuff on my platform. That's it. All right, guys, I'm going to the phone line. Yeah. I'm going to the phone lines. I'm going to get my first caller. I try to take calls in the order that they came in. I usually do a pretty good job at that. My apologies to anybody who didn't get in last time. We kind of ran over. I want to give a shout-out to Anthony Allen and Dreamweaver in the house. Dreamweaver and Anthony Allen. I know that Dreamweaver has donated to the show before. I appreciate that, Dreamweaver. I appreciate that. Disobedient Media. Elizabeth Voss. She did a segment on Redacted tonight. I just want to take a second to give her some love, some respect, and let her know how much we appreciate her over here at TimBlackTV.com for mentioning the demonetization that not only I have experienced, but also Redacted tonight and many other indie media people. So thank you, Snapchat people, for caring about this show and for supporting this show. I appreciate it. All right. My first call is from a 917 number. 917, you live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from? I can't hear. 917. Why can't I hear the 917 number? 917. Can y'all hear the caller? I can't hear the caller. That looks right. I heard the music play. Maybe 917 has me on hold. Let me try one. Let me try my 434. 434, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Really low. Hello? Oh, let me check something. Because something's up with the volume, bro. No, the volume's up. Testing. My brother, 434.
What's up, Tim?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's really low, but I can hear you. What's going on, Mystical? How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
You know what? I'm going to have to throw on the headphones because this is pretty low.
Huh? You can't hear me?
Yeah, let me think. Do I do this? Okay, just do this. Yeah, let me add my headphones to the mix, bro.
Okay.
Hey, 917, hang tight. You're number one. I let number two go. We'll come back to number one. Oh, that sounds bad. What is up with all this? It's got a lot of static happening. Mystical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of janky right now. But go ahead, Mystical. What's going on, man? How you feeling over there?
I'm good, bro. The only thing that was on my mind was thank you and shout out to all the people who understood why Colin Kaepernick took a knee in the first place.
Yeah.
Instead of all the rest of this BS y'all talking about, and the brothers who had the bravery to kneel and protest in solidarity with the brother.
I hear you, brother.
That was it. That was because everything else would take too long. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I look, man. I hear you, brother, and I got your point, man. I do. I got your point. I'm just glad there's some people out there that do understand what the man was trying to say. You know?
Right. It's not about your damn flag, man. Shit.
It never was, man. They just co-opted that whole
not.
situation.
The sad part is some of these people just crying and bitching at veterans, and some of the people that supported them are veterans. But it's not the public ceremony anyway.
Damn it. I made a change, guys, and it looked like I lost the volume on my brother. Yeah, I did lose the volume on that. Hold tight, bro. Hold tight. I don't know why I need to make a change. Usually this works just fine. And then when I made the change, it didn't like it. It didn't like my change, man. Okay. Nine 917. $707. Damn it. So it did not like that change, guys. And I'm still getting that feedback. Now, let me see if I can guess what it was. I think it was a 24-bit. Mystical. All right, guys, I got to try to remedy this. And I'm going to hope all will be well. Let's hope it all be well. Let me try to do this. Sounds good now, guys. Continue.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
Yeah, it's something in that system that's kind of jacked up. Hey, Mystical, you're still live, bro, if you're still there. Okay. I hear you, though, man. I hear you. Let me check on YouTube. Guys, I had a little crazy thing happen with the audio. But but look, Mystical, man, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate it. They heard your comment. It just had a lot of static in it.
They heard me, yeah. Like letting people know, the military started paying the NFL for that, man. They started that about 2009 as a recruiting tool, man. Before then, it wasn't even a thing. Like, straight up.
Listen to that, bro. That's real talk right there. That's real talk. It was all about money. It's all about getting more of you to go into the military. Okay, man. Hey, look, Mystical, thanks for the call, man. I'm going to try to keep it moving to the next call, man. But okay, like bro. I said, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, I'm getting a lot of feedback on that right there. 917, are you there now? Maybe 917 is a listener. 917, I think you got me on mute. Let me go to 707 now. Hey, 707, you live on Freedom Friday?
707?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Pretty good. I had a pretty interesting idea a few weeks back. I wanted to call in.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sorry. Yeah. Name's Matt, calling out of California.
Matt and Cali, y'all. Give it up for Matt and Cali. All right, Matt, what's on your mind, man? You got a great idea. Let me hear it.
Well, I don't know if it's a great idea, but it's an idea.
Have some faith. Look, Matt, have some faith in your ideas, brother. Come on now. You're a revolutionary. I can tell it, Matt.
So, a lot of YouTube hosts are getting, hold on, nerves. Start from the beginning.
Just talk to me, Matt. What's up? Matt's gone. All right, Matt. I don't know what happened, man. Matt had a script. I messed up his script because I started talking to him. Call back in, Matt. Just say it, man. I think I know what you were going to say, too, as far as the monetization thing. I feel you, brother. I'm going to go to 909, though. 909, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim. This is Irma Linda from California. How are you?
Irma Linda in his house. I know you, Irma. How are you?
I'm good. I haven't talked to you since back in May. I've been listening to your show. I first of all want to thank you for providing this outlet on a Friday. A couple things I look forward to on a Friday night: pizza, beer, and your show. So, walking my dog, and I'm just reflecting on what I really wanted to say during my 5-minute freedom talk here. And sorry if I ramble because I have a tendency to do that. Sunday, when that whole debacle happened with everyone standing together, taking the knee, and I say debacle because of Trump interjecting and spewing his SOB crap, I really got excited, to be honest with you. I thought, wow, everybody's joining in. They're going to lash back at him, and I thought, well, this is going to bring some awareness of what it's about, the why. Why are we doing the taking the knee? Everything that Colin Kaepernick has been standing for quite a while. So I thought this was exciting. But then over the course of the week, debating with people about what it's about, I was very discouraged because it's a very polarized, community of youth, because on one hand, everybody gets caught up with this whole disrespecting the flag and it's not patriotic. And honestly, I did my homework to try to understand their point of view. And, the mantra is sprinkle some facts and get the hell out of there. And I did. Exactly like Mystical said. I sprinkled some facts. I shared with them what the U.S. code flag is in terms of how to respect the flag. You can't wear it and sell it as merchandise and things like that. And I even, in my, dialogue online, I provided some illustrations, some articles, everything that really kind of confirmed that, standing during the anthem was not a standard. It was not required. It was not even implemented, but it was a whole paid propaganda that even John McCain said it was just the wrong thing to do. Sorry, I'm walking. There's a lot of wind. So I try to provide some facts and try to convey to them, this is not about, anti-patriotism. It's about bringing awareness of the brutalities of what we've all seen. These people cannot be in denial anymore, right? The video footage speaks for itself. And so you got two schools of thoughts here. People who are saying, you know what, enough is enough. We get it. I know what he's standing for, Kaepernick is standing for. But then you have people, I call them the privileged, the people who are in their privileged bubble. I'm not going to say white privilege or any of that the term we commonly use. There's people in other ethnicities who are living in their privileged world as well. I'm sorry, but there are Hispanic people as well who are saying that was wrong. That was unpatriotic. And I'm disappointed. So what I'm trying to say here is that people are in denial of what's happening. And I'm going to admit, a couple years ago, before I even, looked at all the footage of all the brutalities and the blamed murders that were happening, I knew that there was racism. But I got to tell you, when I met a friend a couple weeks ago at a rally, he said, I'm glad, I got to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad Trump won so that you guys can see for yourselves of what we've been dealing with, the racism that we have been dealing with, and he's from Philly. And so now I get it, because now I'm seeing the true colors, the way people behave, the way they're in denial. They're turning away from what's happening. The mass incarceration. I wouldn't have known all this stuff. It wasn't for me, looking up for the facts and just having that dialogue with other people. But the bottom line is that people are stuck in their views. You can't convince them. They're going to be stuck in this, this is unpatriotic. And that it is what it is. You can't convince them. So, but I will say that my husband, I tried to tell him on Sunday when this happened during the games, I said, this is great. This is going to bring discussion. He said, it's not going to change anything. He was very pessimistic about it. It's not going to change anything. So he's my Debbie Downer. But he actually had an opportunity to change some minds the next day at work. As a manager, he was able to tell people what is taking knees all about. And he was able to open their eyes and make them think about the why, not what the buffoon up there was talking about. So I just want to let you know that it's good to have these discussions. It's good. I mean, there are people that are not active, but they're getting it. And I think it's good that people are spreading the word about what Kaepernick has been doing and taking the knee. And it really was a big sacrifice. It's not an easy thing to do with all the financial pressures of these billionaires trying to have a clean, non-political stance in the football fields. But anyway, I know I'm out of time. There was something else I wanted to tell you. I'm a Patreon, so I invite everybody to please donate to Tim's show. I mean, anything that you could. And I also want to let you know that my birthday is this Sunday. I'm getting together with family, and I'm asking them to, give cash donations in lieu of gifts so that we can give to Puerto Rico hurricane, which is a travesty what they're doing with the not waiving that. I forgot the name of that.
Jones Act.
That law.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's obvious. This is an example of systemic racism, and people don't get it. But anyway, and I don't know if you saw the debate at CNN on Medicare on the health debate. I'm not sure if you were able to catch up on that, but just noticed that these Graham and the other weird-looking guy, I mean, they presented their case poorly, and Bernie carried his case very strongly. And notice that they said that Bernie was the most honest politician twice. So that was the best campaign kickoff for Bernie during that health debate. Just watch it and you'll see. They said Bernie's the most honest politician, and maybe they didn't intend to do that, but that is a great way to make people aware, because people at this point don't care about party, they care about an honest politician. So that's really what stood out for me. So with that, thank you again. I love you, Tim. I'm going to keep supporting you and keep listening to your show, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your comments as well. And I also want to thank you for bringing up Puerto Rico. I did a video on it, guys. If you want to check out my Puerto Rico piece, I did. It's been a lot going on. You can imagine two puppies walking them 4 times a day. Me, because I'm the only one that's working from home. And but I tried to get some videos in besides the shows, and I covered that. And it's horrible. You know, Puerto Rico, they have full citizenship. They should have been treated the same way Houston was. Just like Texas, just like Florida. And it's horrific, you know. As far as the take the knee stuff, only the thing that pisses me off, because we're always gonna have people who don't get it for whatever reason, right? Like, we got a lot of propaganda in this country that tells you that, you know, you watch movies and the cops are always good guys, and they can't even imagine there being a bad cop that did something and people being upset about it. It's the craziest thing, even though, like, this has been the experience of so many people in this country for so many years, hundreds of years, you know. Police, I mean, the first police, they just went back and caught slaves. That's what they did, and they ain't really stopped till now. It's still going on now. But the thing that pisses me off is the whole take a knee thing has been co-opted by the resistance, and now it's about Trump. And that's never what it was about. It was never about Trump. Trump wasn't even in office when the take a knee started. And the only reason why it was done during the flag, because it was before the game. And it's just the people that think that, you know, this is all a ploy to get something from, like, to become a star. He was a quarterback of a team that went to the championship. He was already a star, man. You know, so those people kill me with the theories that this was all, like, you know, self-serving. And there are a lot of people saying that, and you're right. It runs the gamut. It's not just white folks. There are Latino folks and black folks too, believe it or not, and Asian folks and Native American folks who don't get it. And, like, we're all entitled to our opinions. All I'm saying is, if you do a crime, not only poor people, citizens, should go to jail for it. So should officers, and so should the rich, if they commit a crime. That's the thing. And so I think most people would agree with that in theory, but then when it plays out, they are manipulated by media. I guess that has to be what it is. But thank you, Irma Linda, for the call. 772, thank you for holding. You're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Eric, it's Tim. No, sorry. Hey, Tim, it's Eric from Florida. How's it going?
Hey, Eric, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. What you call it? I wanted, since you were talking about Dave Chappelle earlier.
Yes.
How was the show? Like,
oh, amazing.
Was the show, like, extremely really funny?
Yes, Eric. Almost, look, as funny as you calling me you, or calling you me. But it was way funnier than that, man. Dave is a killer. He's a master of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always love his work. One of my favorite sketches on the Chappelle show was, like, when keeping it real goes wrong. It was pretty funny.
Yes, it was.
What's like your favorite sketches from the Chappelle show?
Wow, my favorite sketch is that, and I like the race trade, like the the trade when you traded people for certain races. I thought that was hilarious, and of course the Rick James skit and the was it Prince skits? Those were hilarious, man.
Oh, those were amazing.
Yeah,
I just love the Chappelle show. I mean, comedy. I mean, I wish comedy wasn't politically correct these days. Like these comedians are like afraid to say something and offend people. I mean, I love comedy and I oppose like political correctness when it comes to comedy. I would just rather have like the full force joke, like something really super funny.
right. I agree with you, bro. Yeah, definitely, man. If our comedians can't say what we're thinking, who can? Like, gosh, they should be able to keep it real and make a joke and be ironic or use irony and satire. We should allow that. And if you don't like the joke, don't support them. Don't buy it. Don't go to their shows. That's how you speak. That's how you speak back. But not shut down the comedians. We need comedians, man.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope, more people come out, be funnier and edgier, and plus talk about serious issues too, but, still make them funny too.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. You're preaching to the choir right now, but yeah, definitely, bro.
Thank you. Always keep up the amazing work, Tim. We love you. We love what you do, and have a wonderful weekend.
Hey, man, you do the same thing, man. How is your family holding up, man? Were you okay during the freaking natural disaster catastrophe in Florida?
Yeah, we really got lucky though. We got really super lucky.
Okay. Well, look, man, I'm glad to hear it, brother.
I still feel bad for the other Floridians and whoever was affected as well. I mean, I'm very grateful that I'm lucky, but, still my thoughts, go out to those who are in need.
Oh,
in
absolutely.
Houston, Florida, and Puerto Rico.
Absolutely, brother. We know where your heart is, man. Give it up for Eric, y'all. Friend of the show, been a friend of the show for quite some time. You know it, man. Eric's a good young man. He's got a big heart, and I'm glad he's calling into the show, man. Let me go to the next call. I got a 507 number over here. Hey, 507, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Jake Jacobson, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Jake from Minnesota. What's on your mind, Jake?
Well, I wanted to call because, it's been on my mind for quite a while, and I'm a first-time caller. But the terrorist stuff in the United States, we have a local group that is a terrorist group, which is, I'm going to call it the KKK. Why don't we make laws against that so that we don't create more issues? It just pisses me off to sit there and think that certain people get terrorized by them people walking down the street. And we allow them to, as a government. And, I don't know, I would like some thoughts on this, because it really irritates the hell out of me. I'm sorry about the language, but...
No problem.
So I would like your views on it. As you're an African-American, and, do you understand why the governments allow this to happen?
Yeah, because there are a lot of people in government who probably have family that are probably part of the KKK. It's the same thing with law enforcement. Whenever we push back on law enforcement, we got to realize how many people have relatives and friends who are in law enforcement. So, I mean, I think that there's connections there that we don't know about in some situations. And The KKK served. One last thing, Jake. The KKK served a purpose, and the government allowed KKK to run unfeathered since Reconstruction.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's turn this back over to ISIS. Okay. And they terrorized us, but they're criminals. But the KKK isn't.
Yeah, Yeah, I hear you. Someone said they can't hear they can't hear the call as well. I'm just going to cut your volume up a little bit, Jake. So okay. What do you think it was, Jake? Like, why do you think they haven't shut down the KKK?
Well, I'm thinking it's like what you said. It's, they have connections in the government, but in the same token, we need to tear down our government in this United States and make it correct.
Yeah, we do need to do that. I guess.
We're trying to do, with getting like Bernie in and independents, that believe in the grassroots thing, But, I mean, for right now, they're showing strength against ISIS, but they're not showing strength against the KKK, which thrives every day in the United States and terrorizes thousands of people,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to call and vent, and I'm a first-time caller, so...
Hey,
and your show is to do it on. You have a great show.
You too. Hey, thank you, Jake, man. I appreciate the call, first-time caller, man. And I get you got it, brother. I appreciate it. Look, man. And I'm going to give a shout-out to Momo for calling up and saying the volume was low, and I cut the volume up. And I hope that's so much better. I was looking in the comment sections. I didn't see that at first. But yeah, like, come on, guys. The KKK used to lynch people and the cops wouldn't arrest them. Come on, y'all. More people, more citizens of the U.S. were killed by the KKK than ISIS. It's a fact. I remember being a kid looking across these woods that lived across from our apartment buildings. And I used to be afraid thinking the KKK was in the woods. That's a real fear, and that's what they use fear to control blacks in the South. And that's just a reality, So a lot of people, it's like when I hear these people conversate about issues like, marches, Klan marches, freedom of speech, and all these things, like they don't get it. And they just they don't get it. They don't get how it makes black people feel. We're not the same. We don't have the same history. We weren't raised under the same circumstances. We haven't faced the same conditions at all. And it's hard to make a person understand being terrorized. They just don't get it, so it's what it is, man. You can't make people get it, but I'm glad Jake gets it, so give it up for Jake getting it. My brother. More people felt like you, Jake. Maybe we could do something about it. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately. 309, my brother or sister. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Brendan from Illinois. Just giving a call to say, hey, how are you doing, Tim?
Man, I'm good, Brendan. How you doing, man?
Not bad. I'm actually calling to say some stuff about what's going on with the kneeling and stuff, and I'm actually laughing at people that are posting the videos of them. And it's white people posting pictures where they're burning everything, their tickets and all the stuff, and they're saying they're going to boycott the NFL. I'm like, you're wasting money. You're boycotting the NFL. You're actually I'm actually starting to post stuff online and saying, if you're white and you're doing this stuff, now you're starting to show that you are racist because a black person's doing it. And then you're having all the NFL owners and all that are starting to kneel because they're trying to show that it's time to change what's going on. And I'm glad that they're finally saying it.
I hear you.
That's what my feelings are.
I hear you, brother. I hear you, man. So the people that are burning the Burning their with their baseball hats, not baseball. Baseball's not included, right? Burning their jerseys, burning their memorabilia, that type of thing, right?
Their season tickets.
What?
And yeah, burning their season tickets. And I'm like, you guys are insane. How much rent you pay for those tickets? And I was laughing about it. I'm like, you guys got to be insane. You probably paid thousands of dollars for those tickets or more. And I'm like, you're burning them? What in the world are you thinking?
That's a lot of look. You got to be really pissed off if you're gonna throw away $1,000 because you don't like somebody.
I'm actually happy that Tomlin actually kept the team in the locker room because that's exactly what the team used to do: stay in the locker room until 2009 when the NFL started taking money from military, and then they amended their rule book and said you have to come out and support the flag. And I'm like, yeah, you people have got some crazy junk with yourselves. But I'm like, yeah, if you have a problem with that, with people kneeling, oh well, you're about to find out. A lot of people are getting sick of the government and actually of what's going on because it's time for people to step up. A lot of things have gone on that have needed to be said, and now it's finally coming out, and people don't like it.
Yeah, the truth.
That's the best thing. When you're starting to show stuff that people don't like, that's when you know you're getting the people. And when they want to shut it down, and it's not caught, and people aren't doing anything bad, and the government and everything else wants to shut it down, you know you're doing the right thing. Wow.
My brother, man, Brendan, you're on point, man. I appreciate your phone call, man. And yeah, man, give it up for Brendan, y'all.
Hey, Tim, and I actually...
Yeah, what's up?
That I told you I was going to send you about things I found out from the president's stuff. I'm actually typing that up, and I will send that to you as soon as I get it done and I get home from my work, because I'm actually an over-the-road truck driver, so I have little to no time at home until I get home for a couple of weeks.
No problem, man. Look, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here, bro.
Hey, yep, and I will let you go. Nice talking to you, Tim, and I will talk to you later, and have a good weekend.
Hey, you too, Brendan, man. Be safe on the road, man. Give it up for Brendan, man. Truck driver doing this thing. Regular working guy, man. You know, like me. Hey. If anybody out there wonder, like seriously, anybody wonder why they have to do it during the flag? Doing this, doing the anthem. Do you understand what protest is? It's to get attention. So if you do it after the game when no one's watching, it's sort of like me making my most radical comments about corruption in the DNC, Hillary campaign, Trump stupidity, whatever it is, right? I do it on shows trying to reach millions, right? Why would I do it on the corner where no one's watching? To get a message out, you do it in a most visible location that you have access to. Rallies want to be held, protests want to be held where people will see it. It's so the media gets it, so people see it, so they understand what your complaints are. That's the whole purpose of protest. Once upon a time, when we were fighting for labor laws in this country, white people used to protest that shit. And black people as well. We all wanted labor laws. All of Americans, the immigrants, protested to get the right for an 8-hour workday. We protested the right to get minimum wage. But see, it's okay to do that because actually it wasn't, and people got their butts kicked and thrown in jail a lot of times. There was a lot of carnage behind the labor movement. Go look it up. The dominant group, whatever that group is, the people on top always try to stop protests. And they always come up with a way. The reason why this is being stopped, because too many people of the majority group, or people are influenced by the majority group to think this is an evil thing. It wasn't evil to want a minimum wage. It wasn't evil to have child labor laws. They made those people seem evil, out of touch, or wanting too much, wanting a handout. Can you imagine that? The NFL is just an example. It's like any other protest. They have a grievance. Well, Colin Kaepernick had a grievance that he was expressing for all the other people who were already protesting around the country. What it is now, what it is now, it is not the same thing. It is, and people are articulating some other, we all want to show we're united. That's not what it's, to me, that's not what it was for. That's not what it should have been about. Should have been about the original issue. Now it's looking like it's against Trump, which makes it even more off track. No, it's not about Trump. It's not about the flag. It's about that being an opportunity to have the intention to voice an opinion. All right, guys, I'm going to the next one. 408. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Rachel from Memphis.
Rachel from Memphis. Hey, Rachel, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I just wanted to agree with what you just said. You know, I've seen, I heard Jeff Sessions say, you know, it just wasn't it's not the appropriate place, time and place to protest something. And I'm like, wait, the First Amendment, I don't remember it saying when, you know, how the government can dictate to you when you have the right to protest any grievances against your government. And it's just, it's like nonviolent, even when you have a nonviolent protest, which that's what it is. I mean, it's, you know, and he has a platform that has gotten attention. And, you know, last year he was really standing alone. And then now when it became about Trump, now, you know, more people are standing with him, which, you know, that's why it's been hijacked. Like you said, it's not even about, now it's a resistance against Trump, but that just goes to show you how even the, you know, the media from both sides of the aisle just, they do anything and everything to protect the status quo. They don't want to talk about what it's really about either. The so-called progressive media. I mean, I'm talking mainstream media. But it's you know, and it's to make it about, like, if you are not standing for the national anthem, it's somehow you're disrespecting a veteran. And I mean, that doesn't even make any sense to me, but, you know, it's nothing but a marketing ploy to do the whole militarization of the NFL games anyway. I mean, I think our tax dollars paid for like $7 million to the NFL, to have like big military ceremonies just to help with recruitment to continue never-ending war. But the war profiteers are licking their chops because now you have all these people like, you know, hardcore on the right, like all, you know, with their blind patriotism and, you know, once again reinforcing the militarization of this country to support, you know, the military-industrial complex. But the main issue, the reason why Colin Kaepernick is doing what he's doing, it's been hijacked, and it's now being used to divide and conquer between, you know, Trump and, you know, so-called anti-American, now being used to divide and conquer between, you know, Trump and, you know, anyway, so-called anti-American, now being used to divide and conquer. There's more things disrespectful than kneeling while the national anthem is going. Number one, funding ISIS in Syria. That is disrespectful to the flag and the Constitution. The war on drugs, bailing out bankers, you know, being allies with Saudi Arabia, who's the number one exporter of jihadi Takfiri terrorists. 300,000 veterans that have died being neglected by their own VA. Mm-hmm. Secret courts prosecuting whistleblowers, mass surveillance. Can I go on and on and on? Like, where are these so-called patriots that are so outraged about Colin Kaepernick? Why aren't they outraged about that? And, I mean, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just, it's insane to me. It's like, okay, people, think for a second. Really just have some common sense. Really think about it. Think about what you're doing. You are just falling into the trap of you know, another diversion from the real criminals. And you're one of your callers saying that, you know, the KKK being a terrorist group. Well, absolutely, but I think really our biggest threat, the biggest threat to the American people as a terrorist group is the U.S. government. And I'm sorry to say that, but, you know, I mean, we should be afraid of them because they're the ones that are, you know, waging war, trying to start a nuclear war with, you know, North Korea. I mean, you know, Donald Trump threatening to commit genocide against 25 million North Koreans? Really? At the United Nations, of all places, where the nations are supposed to come together and have diplomacy and hope for a better world. This is like, why aren't people talking about that? And it's crazy to me. But yeah, and you know, and then also, I just have to say this as well. I don't know if you've seen this. The Russia hysteria has taken a whole new level of insanity. That basically it came straight from the Kremlin to where Americans were tweeting about the Colin Kaepernick, you know, take the knee hashtag. That was somehow an orchestrated Russian government conspiracy. So now the Congress wants to investigate, you know, Twitter and Facebook. I mean, this has just gone from not only just a fascist Orwellian nightmare, it's gone just even worse than that, in my opinion. It's just like we're back in the, you know, the 50s McCarthy red baiting un-American committee, suspected of being a communist. And you know, they in the FBI files, they even said that the Soviet Union was driving the civil rights movement to cause quote-unquote discord. Does that sound familiar? And they thought that Martin Luther King was secretly working with the Russians.
Wow.
That's in the FBI files. Yes. It's insane. And so, I mean, this is, it's just like, wow. I mean, yeah. Sorry to ramble, but it's just.
No. This is an excellent call. I appreciate you so much for this, Rachel, and you spit a lot of fire. I really appreciate you calling up, and I did not know that they used that same tactic during the civil rights movement. They got to use better tactics, man. Thank you, Rachel.
Thanks.
Wow. Rachel was a hell of a caller. I was trying to get my chat window opened up, so I missed a portion of that, so I'm going to have to go back and watch to listen to more of that. I've just been trying to get my Facebook comments to show up on the video, and it's finally doing that, guys. So please keep commenting on Facebook. You guys tonight are the ones that appear on the screen, and I hope that's not too small for the rest of the world to see, but there you go. Let me go to the next call, guys. I appreciate you. My 313 number's still in the house. There we go. Hey, 313. Welcome to Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name's Laura. I'm calling from the Detroit area.
Very good. Hey, Laura, what's on your mind, sis? Yeah, I hear you.
Hi. Oh, no, I just want to say I really like your show. I'm so happy that you're doing things like this. This is great. But, you know, I was thinking, I keep hearing I don't know how to, you know, here in this area, in the Detroit area, we've had a lot of incidents like that I was just thinking they never make the national news, not that I know of. But you know what? We had an incident, I think it was about 3 years ago, and it was similar to the Trayvon Martin incident. And that guy, it happened in Dearborn, a a suburb of Detroit. The girl was from Detroit. She went to his house. She had gotten in a car accident. She was disoriented. Did you hear about this?
I covered it.
And
yes.
he took a gun. Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, then. But you know what? That guy went to prison.
He sure did.
And I'm thinking, and that's good. But I didn't hear a whole lot about that all over the news. And I'm thinking, I was thinking back in the 80s.
90 seconds.
There was a guy, his name was Malice Green, and he was in front of a crack house. He was on drugs and stuff. 2 cops went up to the car, and they wanted him. He had something in his hand, and he wouldn't open his hand. Do you know about this guy?
That I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, this was in the 80s. Well, these 2 cops started beating him with their flashlights. In the end,
60
they
seconds.
killed him. But you know what? In the end, those cops went to prison. And I keep thinking, you know what? Something happened. Like even in the 70s, not standing up for the national anthem. I remember people doing that. In fact, my girlfriend and I were at a Tiger game, and we didn't. It was during, in the 70s when there were all the war protests and stuff. But I don't recall anybody talking about patriotism and things like that back then. People protested, people, did that sort of thing. But what this is going, I don't know. I always feel like, like this whole thing about racism, it's like it's a tool. It's a tool they use to keep us divided, to keep us in our
10 seconds.
places. And, they're working real hard to maintain it. So, but anyway, about that, the guy Malice Green, those cops, I think one of them actually passed away in jail. Wow. But, it's like I brought that up one time to somebody, and it's like all these things are forgotten. And I feel like somewhere along the line, the ball was dropped, and we're like somewhere before the 60s and 70s, before the civil rights movement, all this hatred and all this, and people not even recognizing that it's racism. You know what I mean? You know how even that police chief, I can't believe he sat there and said, "I'm not a racist." You just said a racial slur, but you're not a racist. They deny. I don't recall all this denial. I mean, at one time, you did something bad, you did something like that, you were recognized for doing something bad. Although he did get punished by the media because he had to resign, so that's good. But anyway, I am one of those nervous callers. I got a lot on my mind all the time, but my mind goes every which way. But anyway, I just want to say I think you're doing a great job. I like listening to you, and yeah. So I don't know.
Well, Laura, I
don't know. I hope.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say I don't know. I just hope things. I don't know. I guess we have. I'll say another thing. I worked in a place. This was quite a while ago. This whole thing about this. Like even what is it? Affirmative action, that type of thing. That was one thing that got people like women and all, people that were not being treated fairly. That got us some justice. Well, they stopped that, back in the 90s, they kind of stopped doing that. Well, anyway, I won't say the place that I worked, but they allowed everybody to, they gave management the opportunity to get rid of whoever they wanted to. And guess what? It just so happened, I mean, you're talking, all of us, many women and African-American guys that were there, isn't it funny that half of us were the ones that were not doing our job? And it's like, man, this is unbelievable. When they get the opportunity to try and get rid of somebody, they got rid of the minorities. They did not, I'm not going to say much more about it because, it was a place I worked at. But it was just, you could see this stuff coming, and that was back in the late 90s. That was starting already.
Yeah.
They were, and those are, they're not going to do nothing out of the goodness of their heart. We got to have laws like that, like affirmative action and things. It levels the playing field. But
yeah,
I don't know.
I appreciate you, Laura, for the phone call. Give it up for Laura, speaking her truth. And it is unfortunate, Laura. All we can do is keep spreading awareness. I guess that's what I try to do. I think somehow, if people know what's going on, and they have people like you, Laura, who call up from different places across the country with your input, they can, try to understand it and get to wrap their head around it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it moving to the next caller, but I appreciate you. 801. Where'd my 801 caller go? I lost my 801. Did I? Yeah, lost 801, but I have my 917 back. Give it up for 917. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Tim. It's Amy.
Hey, Amy. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Amy. Yes.
I'm like a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
I hear you now.
The guy who switched over to Sprint, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
It's all one big club of
the money must be better, right?
Yeah, no, I heard you, and I heard the second caller, so no big deal. I didn't know why I was going to call in today. I saw that Tom Price resigned. I didn't see precisely why. Not that the media is going to report precisely why, but I want to remind people about what he did while he was in Congress, because it's really important. I mean, this guy was actually one of my least favorite of Trump's cabinet picks. Hands down, no question. So he's in Congress, a doctor, and proposing actually doing something that could actually be prosecuted as insider trading under federal law, and then dealing stocks, and then proposing bills for the companies that he's investing in. And this is Tom Price. So when Trump nominated him, he was like the worst of the we already see your corruption kind of nominees. So what he did is totally not a surprise to me at all. Very quickly after he was nominated and Trump was nominated, there were, everybody was, even the mainstream media was like, they want to do away with the ethics committee. They want to do it. I'm like, what are they doing? If they haven't investigated or actually done anything about this man and what he has done, what are they doing? If you're not actually investigating or doing anything, you're not a functioning body. You're just in name saying that you're going to do something about ethics in Congress, and you're not doing anything. And it's infuriating to me. Anyway, he's gone. God knows. I don't know how he can go worse. Tom Price probably resigned because, I don't know, this is just a shot in the dark, but it's just like, I don't want people looking into me anymore. Like Donald Trump, yeah, he's going to do what he wants, and he fires people. You should have known this before. At first, it's sort of like, well, Donald Trump is so corrupt. In a way, I thought, oh, well, he's going to just hire people who are as corrupt or just as corrupt just to deflect from him. But then when he actually, puts the spotlight on him, he did this to, and he called Jeff Sessions out a couple times, and Jeff Sessions is bad, yeah, whatever, man. And Tom Price is like, no, I'm getting the hell out of here. Anyway, it's so... anyway, that was what I had to say about, but about, I love Freedom Friday. I feel like I know a little bit about the First Amendment. I did go to law school, graduate, and, have a law license, but my big paper in advanced constitutional law was actually on the First Amendment, and it was on an issue that had to do with whether intentional infliction of emotional distress and the federal government. It had to do with Fred Phelps, a religious fundamentalist who used to protest everybody's funerals when they came back, veterans from from wars and gay people, you know, and then funerals of those people, and just so a court awarded them money, and then it went to the Supreme Court, and they actually reversed that. And it's like, where does the First Amendment begin and where does it end? And it's really, really tough. And one of the callers, although very right in a lot of her perspective about it, the government actually can regulate time, place, and manner on all of your speech. And in fact, it does protect you. I want to tell you, it does protect you at times. Not at that guy's funeral, clearly, because, I mean, I almost feel like some of Fred Phelps' speech, and that's where the ACLU, I would have a really hard time working for them if I had to defend Fred Phelps with the kind of speech during a funeral. But what they can do that, and it protects women when they have abortions from the clinics. You have to stay a certain amount away, or because of an emergency, they can tell you have to go somewhere else, or you have to get a permit, and you have to do this. And there's always going to be, you're always going to have to draw a line, and sometimes it's very arbitrary, but sometimes it's very necessary. And I think that also has to be kept in mind. When it comes to NFL, we had a little disagreement last week, Tim, and I think you took me wrong. Yes, I think it's fair for me to question Colin Kaepernick's motives at the time that he did it, right? I think he followed through, and maybe he was that person before and I just didn't know it. But everything he's done after is perfect. But what I think about the NFL is welcome to regulate this. I do not think after Donald Trump comes out as president to be like, oh yeah, like you have to do it. I don't think they can now. It's so public. Your caller who was talking about how people were burning their season tickets, I think you were laughing your ass off. Like, it was hilarious. I mean, they're not part of this 1% of people who should be burning anything that's worth anything. But if the NFL doesn't regulate it, and if your job doesn't regulate it as a business because they can, you have the right to do that until the government does. And it's so inappropriate for Donald Trump, the President of the United States, to come out and tell a private business what to do. And I mean, I think that, that's the bottom line for me. It's really inappropriate for him. The NFL can do what they want. They can regulate that. I can understand, if some people want to, even Hillary Clinton at a certain point, which I don't like her, but even some Democrats and some Republicans think it's horrid. They want their speech, but they're against flag burning,
right? Which
is also maybe a type of political speech. So
I gotta keep it moving, Amy. I gotta keep it moving.
Yeah, sorry. I could have a discussion about that, but it's just anyway. But unless the business regulates it, that's it.
All right, sister. I appreciate it. Give it up for Amy, guys. I appreciate it, Amy. 814. I don't want anybody to be left out tonight. 814, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, this is Rob Sandera.
Hey, Rob.
Here in Northwest Pennsylvania. Well, first I wanted to say thanks for everything you're doing for those dogs and the animals. I think you're a really good person doing that.
Thanks, brother.
And I take care of a lot of animals, so I understand what you're going through. I have an idea here that I kind of wanted to run past people. I missed some of the people summits and things that were going on, and it's already pretty late in the year. I wanted to have a big thing at my farm here where people can actually come out here, but I came up with an idea of a virtual summit for progress. And what that would be like your show, I don't know if you know the Tom Hartman show, Young Turks, a bunch of the progressive programs. And there are Republicans out there, too, that want to see some progress move forward in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe we could do some kind of a virtual thing where basically you got a bunch of computers going that are broadcasting over Skype, where people will be able to call in, and we kind of promote all these independent news operations, and we try to have a drive for the people to unite, because everybody's cutting down the parties, which is what we need to do, but we also need to focus on what are we going to do about it. And if we don't unite, we're not going to do anything. I would also like to see some of the progressives maybe reach out to some of these Republican youngsters that I'm seeing they've been misinformed on an issue, and they go all hog crazy that they don't know what they're talking about. I think it's time that we got to start calling out people and say, no, that's wrong. You were given bad information. What you believe is going on, that's not what is going on. It's just like this football issue. I watched the guy burn a bunch of his Steeler gear because the Steelers sat in the back room, I guess, during the anthem or something. And I was like, how crazy. And then I listened to Richard Petty say how he was going to fire anybody that disrespected the flag and all this. And it's like, this is what happens. These people get part of the information. I don't even think they know what the protest was about. They didn't even bother to go look up what it was initially about. So I just thought I'd run past you an idea, because I'd like to hear from some people. What can we do if Facebook and all these places are clamping down? I'm willing to put my internet company back into service, and there ain't no censorship on my internet company because I go after the big people, and I win. So they know better than to mess with me. But what do you think about some of this, Tim?
Hey, man, Rob, man, I'm a bipartisan guy, man. I'm not into partisan politics, and I'll work with anybody who's trying to work for the good, the greater good, man. And I have a conversation with anybody. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with it, man. Start putting it together and invite me to it. I don't turn down interviews or opportunities to reach people.
Well, what I'm hoping is maybe next year I have the physical summit. I live on a big old farm that was a campground. I mean, people could come out here and camp, and I'll have some broadcasting trailers set up where we can do some of the kind of shows you do. I have your own studio all set up and just do whatever you do out here. And
wow.
That way we can all converge. I mean, these people are against us. We need to unite to decide what we're going to do about it, how we're going to win, all of the people.
Wow, brother. I like your spirit, Rob. I like your spirit, brother. I like your phone call. Thank you for calling up, man. Interesting, man. You know where I'm at. I'm not going anywhere, Rob. I'll be here. 704. How you doing? You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Who's this?
Hey, this is Bruce from Carolina. How's it going?
What's
Tim?
up, Bruce, man? What's going on tonight in Carolina, man? What's on your mind?
Dude, I think we dodged a bullet, Tim. I was looking online, Washington Post, I believe, one of the ones that posted about it. But you remember that little ridiculous situation that happened over there in Charlottesville?
Yes.
With the whole white supremacists and the car and the horribleness. Well, guess what? Those same idiots were trying to have a rally at Marshall Park in Charlotte, 3 days after Christmas. They were going to try to set up a similar event. And luckily for us, the idiots don't have any type of timing whatsoever, because by the time they tried to set up the permits, they were not allowed to have anything like indoors. So they were end up having it outdoors at a park. So in case you hadn't noticed what happened the last couple of times, they've had like protests around here. It gets pretty ugly. So one of that Richard Spencer guy, he automatically pulled out, and then a couple other people pulled out. Now it looks like it's kind of like breaking apart, but you know, it's ongoing. You never know. So yeah, just bring that up to mention, because I was like, oh man, I already went through a couple of those protests. And that shit gets ugly, man. It gets real ugly real fast, and nobody wants to see that. But on the lighter side of things, I love the fact that we see on the news every single day about how it's only a matter of time. You hear it from Jank and all the leftist establishment folks about how any moment now they're going to find that information and Trump's going right to jail and all of his people and everybody's going to get impeached. How funny is it with all that talk they talk about? The first person to end up doing time is former Hillary bot Anthony Carlos Danger Wiener. 21 months.
Yeah.
21 months for doing the same thing over and over again. I think he must have forgot that he ain't Bill. Carlos Danger. Well, he's going to be doing 21 months, so you know what that means, right, Tim? So I hope he doesn't drop the soap, because the only thing that's going to be in danger now is his asshole. Now, for the NFL, I appreciate that finally, the owners and everybody else are starting to get on board with this protest. But be careful, Tim. They're trying to take the cornbread again. You know why? I was watching on CNN, and Krillin, a.k.a. Brian Stelter, was going to basically say that at this moment, now that the owners and all these other people have now joined in, it's no longer about what Colin Kaepernick was doing. It's about their unification of Trump. No, it's not. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. We can have an issue with how the police handle people of color in this country and hate Trump. You can do both. I hate the fact that whenever you have a movement that starts to grow, you have establishment people then try to step in front of it and then try to redirect it for their own fucking agenda. It's really annoying. And for those owners, just like Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed, it's funny that now, after all the stuff they said, or after all the stuff Trump mentioned, all the bad behavior he's shown, all the lewd behavior he's done, now when he finally comes for the NFL to tell people to walk out on games if they see somebody kneeling, all of a sudden now, owners now have a sense of fucking decency and morals. Ain't that hilarious? And for these fans, where were you guys, since you guys are fucking pissing yourselves just because of the fact that he's supposedly disrespecting a flag which represents our soldiers? Where were you bumfucks when he was shitting on Gold Star families and talking shit about McCain?
Wow, brother. You just bodied that one, Bruce. I appreciate it, man. That was both barrels smoking. Yeah, good point about the Gold Star family and McCain. Very good point. And good point about the NFL, too. Yeah. Horrible, man. Horrible. Hypocrites. And then we thought, thank you for the phone call, Bruce. And then people thought that it was only Obama people who were brainwashed. No, man, it happens every election cycle. I'm learning. I'm learning because look, guys, I'm new to. I only been doing politics like really paying attention to it in the last couple of years. So I kind of came in on the tail end of Obama's second term. And even at that time, I wasn't aware of all the stuff he was doing because it wasn't publicized. You had to really dig for it. So yeah, but now I'm realizing that the brainwash stuff, that's on both sides of the aisle, man. And I also want to make this point about the military, man, about this whole flag thing. There are a lot of young people totally brainwashed about the military. It'll take them going to war in a foreign land for money, losing friends, maybe losing limbs, for them to realize it is all BS. That's the sad thing about it. And it's really shameful that we have adult men who don't know. Because that's who, like, it's not kids buying season tickets. These are grown-ass men buying season tickets who have families who don't know that the majority of what they hear about the military is propaganda, just to put your body in a uniform to send you somewhere. You are now property, and you fight and kill for what we want you to, for wars that don't need to be fought. I don't think there are many people in this country, regardless of what race, religion, gender, orientation they have, who wouldn't fight against someone invading this country. But we're talking about going to other countries, taking lives because somebody told you to. Not because they're invading your country. That's what it comes down to, man. So that's horrible. So I feel bad for those middle American folks, these people who have been so bamboozled, man, into thinking that, they're defending something, this idea. Meanwhile, they're getting screwed. Totally getting screwed and lied to and manipulated by the elitists. It's sad, man. And instead of banding with brothers and sisters in this country to protect our rights and all, let's face it, man, unless you are worth millions and millions of dollars liquid, you are nobody in this country. You are no one. And instead of us banding together, all us poor people, all us working stiffs, we got some of them so bamboozled, so they drank so much Kool-Aid, they watched way too much of Bruce Willis movies and Saving Private Ryan movies and all that. Dude, it's just sad. I wish more people thought about it that way. And then we could feel a little bit more sympathy for the people that believe this crap, because they're dying, man, and they're sending their kids to die too, and they're sending their kids to blow up other kids in other countries for the dumbest reasons, all because of a team. But look, guys, I'm happy to say we cleared the queue tonight. I got everybody who called up. Everybody who called up had an opportunity to talk tonight. Thank you, Momo, for getting my volume straight. Thank you for the callers that held on the line. Thank you for the people that contributed via Snapchat. Thank you for Facebook people making comments, because those were scrolling on the screen. Yeah, we talked about a lot. Tom Price, good Tom Price. So what a scumbag. How does a guy get a job in an administration after allegations and of him getting kickbacks, basically, by having the ethics of a dead flea? How does that guy get in? You and I couldn't get into a job if we did something, if we were thought to be untrustworthy. They wouldn't let you work at the gas station if they thought you were untrustworthy. But he can be thought untrustworthy and get a job in a presidential cabinet. It's horrific, man. And the people that looked at what Trump appointed this guy and looked the other way. They looked the other way. I'm on a show. I've been on a show a couple of times. I'm going to be on there again. It's called Fault Lines with Lee Stranahan and Garland Nixon. So anyway, guys, I'll be there Wednesday. I'm going to tweet it out to try to let people know ahead of time. Very interesting show. Garland is conservative. No, that's crazy. Garland is not conservative. He is liberal. And Lee is the conservative, and then I'm coming on too. So this will be my third time on the show. I was on it earlier this week, and I was on it last week. So maybe this will become more of a regular weekly thing. It's called Fault Lines, by the way. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. That's it for the show tonight. Go to TimBlackTV.com. Become a member of this channel. Become a member of my wolf pack. Help us keep doing what we're doing. We have Freedom Friday every Friday, and I'm trying to, guys, I want to know what day. I need to just do it. Like, I want to do something for my Patreons who really help keep this show on the air. They do their part so that I can do my part, and I want to thank you so much for what you do. Become a Patreon. Consider becoming a Patreon. All my Super Chat people who's so damn cool, man. Give it up for those guys and my Patreon people. Lord knows I know things are tough, man. I appreciate you. So here it is, guys. You know, if somebody thought you were a thief, you wouldn't be able to get a job. But this guy, Tom Price, could be a thief and get a job. And then he has to resign before he gets fired. I know if you stole out a cash register, they'd make the video go viral, and you wouldn't be able to get a job for the next, I don't know how many years. See, us regular people get the brunt of it. We have no problem breaking out the pitchforks, the flamethrowers for regular people. But when it's these elite thieves, these white-collar elite thieves, they get away with it. You know what that is?
You gonna eat your cornbread.
That's them eating our cornbread, y'all. That's who it is. That's what it is. And for some reason, too many of us are brainwashed and listen to the propaganda like these people deserve some type of special treatment. You don't get special treatment. It's like the people that complain when somebody gets food stamps, but don't complain when Walmart gets kickbacks. And you know what that is? Not enough of us are standing up and saying,
nobody take no cornbread from me.
No one's saying it. Cornbread, taking the cornbread is all about you maintaining your ethics, you standing up for your rights, whatever is important to you. And if you let people take your cornbread without fighting for it, what are you? It's like somebody having a platform like I do and being afraid to talk about real issues, being afraid of not being invited to certain events, being afraid of who won't follow you on Twitter, being afraid about who won't follow you on Facebook. What good are you if you see all this stuff going on and all you're worried about is what position you can get, what hookup you can get? See, those are the type of people, guys, that make the establishment, who are robbing from us every day, think, well, hey, what the hell? We can do what we want. They think, well, hey, I can eat your cornbread. I can just take whatever we want from you because I got sellouts and sellouts who will just sell out. Sellouts who sell out who will just keep selling out. Yeah, that's what we got. It's going to take more and more of us to stand up for what we believe in. No, it won't mean you're going to have a mansion and a yacht. No, it doesn't mean you're going to be invited to all the cool parties. No, it doesn't mean you're going to get a job on CNN, dummy. What it means is you will be someone who will be remembered for what you did by millions of people, possibly, at least thousands. That's more important. And until we have that type of attitude that we will stand for something or fall for anything, well, you know what?
It's going to be consequences and repercussions.
It's going to be consequences and repercussions, y'all. Dave Chappelle is my favorite comedian. Close second. Bill Burr is my guy. And he has a saying. He said cops would shoot you and then sprinkle crack on you and blame the crack and say it was a drug deal gone bad. Well, when you're dealing with somebody this weekend and you're trying to explain to them what the take a knee means, when you're trying to explain how Tom Price is a scapegoat for other Congress people who are doing the same thing. Listen, I don't like Tom Price. He a scapegoat. They do that all the time. Kickbacks are part of Washington. That's why these politicians, when they lose their jobs, they go become what? Lobbyists. So when you're talking to these people, trying to get through to them, and you realize they're not listening, all you can do is tell them what? tell them some truth. You sprinkle some facts on them.
Sprinkle some crack on them and get out of here.
Sprinkle some facts on them and get out of there. I'm Tim Black. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next week. I'll do some videos over the weekend. Shout out to everybody out there with a rescue dog. Shout out to everybody out there who gave money to Puerto Rico. Shout out to everybody out there who shared this video and my other content. Go to YouTube, find Tim Black, share something this weekend. If you can't donate, you can hit click and share, though. So do that for me. I appreciate you. I got your back. I ain't going to sell out. Don't you do it. We need you too much for you to sell out. I see you on the next one. Shout out to Momo Pineno, Man Oz, Jennifer Vickers, the whole crew, the whole wolf pack, Team Black in the house. I love you. Have a safe weekend. Folks in Puerto Rico, Houston, and Texas, our thoughts are with you. I wish you the best. I'll see you on the next one.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim
Black. Lynn Allen says, Satan lives in D.C. Oh, my goodness gracious.
To the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through.